Paarthurnax has made the decision to help you. This is the road we have to walk. Even the great... So be... We will see if they still remember us. Sky above, voice within.
Huh?
Concentrate. The battlefield is full of distractions. Ignore them. Focus on your targets.
You want something from me?
High King Torig's death has turned the whole town
Hey,
on its
you.
head.
Come here. We want to talk to you. You see, we noticed that you're our new Thane. So I thought, maybe I should be better acquainted with you. Wow! I'm so honored to see you, Thane. That's because I don't mean a word of it, you moron. You're an outsider. Don't you see that? I don't know how you've turned our Jarl into liking you. But to us, you are, and always will be, an outsider. What's become of our tradition? You clearly don't deserve such a high honor. You're a disgrace to our culture. Our culture. Sure. The great Thane doesn't have time to listen to some peasants talking. Is that it? Well, leave then, and don't ever come back.
Need something?
Hey, you. Come here. We want to talk to you.
Yes.
Hey, you. Come here. We want to talk to you.
These fools are actually fighting.
Hmm?
I'm telling you, Ulfric's planning... an attack on Whiterun.
He'd be insane to try. He doesn't have the men.
That's not what my scouts report, sir. Every day more join his cause. Riften, Dawnstar, and Winterhold support him.
It's not a cause. It's a rebellion.
Call it whatever you like, General. The man's going to try to take Whiterun.
Jarl Balgruuf.
Balgruuf refuses the Legion's right to garrison troops in his city. On the other hand, he also refuses to acknowledge Ulfric's
There's
claim.
something I can do for you? Perhaps direct you to the nearest prison? The Greybeards. What do those old hermits want with me? Why, there's nothing to discuss as long as that traitor Ulfric is in arms against his rightful emperor. They are getting to be a problem, but I wasn't sent to Skyrim to fight dragons. My job is to quell this rebellion, and I intend to do just that, dragons or no dragons. You may have a point. It's getting difficult to even move troops around without attracting a dragon attack. By all accounts, the Stormcloaks are suffering just as badly. Even Ulfric might see the sense of a truce under these conditions. Yes, fine. I'll come to this Greybeard Council. For all the good it will do. Well, if he wants to stand outside the protection of the Empire, fine. Let Ulfric pillage his city.
General,
You people and your damn Jarls.
sir, you can't force a Nord to accept help he hasn't asked for.
If Ulfric's making a move for Whiterun, then we need to be there to stop him. Draft another letter with the usual platitudes, but this time share some of your intelligence regarding Ulfric's plans. Embellish if you have to.
Concentrate. The battlefield is full of distractions. Ignore them. Focus on your targets.
Hold it there. Keep your distance. Another girl killed. This is Susanna, from Candlehearth Hall. Served me a drink just a few nights ago, but I can't say I knew her. Same as the others. Looks like she was stabbed and then cut apart. It's like an animal got to her. But these are the wounds of a blade. Susanna's the third. It's always the same. Young girl killed at night, body torn up. Look, there's a war going on if you hadn't heard. We barely have enough soldiers to walk the streets, much less patrol every corner. If you want to help, ask some of these Gawkers if they saw anything useful. I'm going to examine the body before the rats can get to it.
Algriff won't give us a straight answer.
He's a true Nord. He'll come around.
Don't be so sure of that. We've intercepted couriers from Solitude. The Empire's putting a great deal of pressure on Whiterun.
And what would you have me do?
If he's not with us, he's against us.
He knows that. We all know that.
How long are you going to wait?
You think I need to send Bolgraf a stronger message?
If by message you mean shoving a sword through his gullet.
Taking his city and leaving him in disgrace would make a more powerful statement, don't you think?
So we're ready to start this war in earnest then?
Soon.
I still say you should take them all out like you did dead King Torrig.
Torrig was merely a message to the other Jarls. Whoever we replace them with will need the support of our armies.
We're ready when you are.
Things hinge on Whiterun. If we can take the city without bloodshed, all the better. But if not...
The people are behind you.
Many, I fear, still need convincing.
Then let them die with their false kings.
We've been soldiers a long time. We know the price of freedom. But people are still weighing things in their hearts.
What's left of Skyrim to wager?
They have families to think of.
How many of their sons and daughters follow your banner? We are their families.
Well put, friend. Tell me, Galmar, why do you fight for me?
I'd follow you into the depths of oblivion. You know that.
Yes, but why do you fight? If not for me, what then?
I'll die before elves dictate the fates of men. Are we not one in this?
I fight for the men I've held in my arms, dying on foreign soil. I fight for their wives and children whose names I heard whispered. Their last breath. I fight for we few who did come home, only to find our country full of strangers wearing familiar faces. I fight for my people, impoverished to pay the debts of an empire too weak to rule them, yet brands them criminals for wanting to
Keep
rule
your eyes
themselves.
open.
I fight
I'll
for
take
the
my
people
leave
of
then.
the
Fighting I've already done hasn't been for nothing.
I fight because I must.
Your words give voice to what we all feel, Ulfric. And that's why you will be High King. But the day words are enough will be the day when soldiers like us are no longer needed.
I would gladly retire from the world, were such a day to dawn.
Aye, but in the meantime, we have a war to plan.
Only the foolish or the courageous are... As you can see, I have much that requires my attention. If you're inclined to gab, there are some nice prison guards you may like to meet. It's about time they turned their gaze from the heavens back to our bleeding homeland. What do they want? I have the greatest respect for the Greybeards, of course, and the dragon attacks are a growing plague. But the political situation is still delicate. Not all the Jarls are fully committed to supporting me as High King. I can't afford to appear weak. I can't agree to this unless Tullius himself will be there. I'll do it. But even Tullius may be forced to talk sense in the... Yes, I'll give Tullius one more chance to quit Skyrim with his tail between his legs. I'll come to your council, but I doubt any good will come of it. I'll come to your council, but I doubt any good will come of it.
So, Arngeir, is it? You know why we're here. Are you going to let us in or not?
You are not invited here. You are not welcome here.
We have as much right to be at this council as all of you. More, actually, since we were the ones that put the Dragonborn on this path.
Were you? The hubris of the Blades truly knows no bounds.
If it were up to you, the Dragonborn would sit dreaming on this mountain doing nothing.
Delphine, we're not here to rehearse old grudges. The matter at hand is urgent. Alduin must be stopped. You wouldn't have called this council if you didn't agree. We know a great deal about the situation and the threat that Alduin poses to us all. You need us here if you want this council to succeed. Very well. You may enter. So, you've done it. The men of violence are gathered here, in these halls whose very stones are dedicated to peace. I should not have agreed to host this council. The Greybeards have no business involving ourselves in such matters. Peace? I doubt it. They may put their weapons down. They are not yet tired of war. But regrets are pointless. Take your seat at the council table, and let us see what wisdom we can find among these warriors of Skyrim. Take your seat, and we can begin. We all wait upon you, Dragonborn. Take your seat, and we can begin. We all wait upon you, Dragonborn. Why delay? Please, take your seat so that we can begin. We all wait upon you, Dragonborn. Why delay? Please, take your seat so that we can begin. Take your seat, and we can begin. Now that everyone is here, please take your seats so we can begin. I hope that we have all come here in the spirit
You
of...
insult us by bringing her to this negotiation?
You're Chief Talos Hunter?
That didn't take long.
Diplomat.
Here, here.
I have every right to be at this negotiation. I need to ensure that nothing is agreed to here that violates the terms of the White Gold Concordat.
She's part of the Imperial delegation. You can't dictate who I bring to this council.
Please, if we have to negotiate the terms of the negotiation, we will never get anywhere. Perhaps this would be a good time to get the Dragonborn's input on this matter.
By Izmir's beard, the nerve of those Imperial bastards, eh? To think that I would sit down at the same table with that. Thalmor bitch. Either she walks or I do. Maybe so, but bringing her here is a deliberate provocation. Tullius needs to know I won't be pushed around. It feels like a mistake to me. But I'll bow to your judgment on this. But she is to nothing more. We are not negotiating with her. Is that clear?
Ulfric, why so hostile? After all, it's not the Thalmor that's burning your farms and killing your sons.
She's supposed to be on our side?
You know exactly. No. Not this time.
Now that that's settled, may we proceed?
I have something to say first.
Harry? Oh.
The only reason I agreed to attend this council was to deal with the dragon menace. There's nothing else to talk about. Unless the Empire is finally ready to renounce its unjust... to rule over the free people of Skyrim.
I knew he wouldn't be able to resist.
We're here to arrange a temporary truce to allow the Dragonborn here to deal with the dragons, nothing more. I consider even talking to the Empire a generous gesture.
Are you done? Did you just come here to make speeches, or can we get down to business?
Yes, let's get this over with.
Are we ready to proceed? Jarl Ulfric, General Tullius, this council is unprecedented. We are gathered here at the Dragonborn's request. I ask that you all respect the spirit of High Hrothgar, and do your best to begin the process of achieving a lasting peace in Skyrim. Who would like to open the negotiations?
Yes, let's get down to it. We want control of Markarth. That's our price for agreeing to a truce.
So that's why you're here, Ulfric? You dare to insult the Greybeards by using this council to advance your own position?
Jarl Elisif.
General, this is outrageous. You can't be taking this demand seriously. I thought we were here to discuss a truce.
Elisif, I said I'd handle it. Ulfric, you can't seriously expect us to give up Markarth at the negotiating table. You hope to gain in council what you've been unable to take in battle, is that it?
I'm sure Jarl Ulfric does not expect something for nothing.
Yes, that'd be entirely out of character.
What would the Empire want in return?
Wait, General, you don't intend to just hand over Markarth to that... traitor?
This is how the Empire repays us for our loyalty?
Enough. First, let's be clear. This council wasn't my idea. I think it's a waste of time. You are a traitor to the Empire, and deserve a traitor's death. But I at least will negotiate in good faith. Since we're all here at your request, I'd like to hear what you think Markarth is worth. In exchange for Markarth, the source of most of Skyrim's silver. Hardly. Riften seems like a better choice to me. Well-fortified, easily resupplied from across Lake Honric, plus all the mead we can drink. I'm glad you agree. I was starting to wonder whose side you were on here. You heard what she said, Ulfric. We've made you a fair offer. Are you serious about these talks, or are you just here to posture?
I expected better from you, Dragonborn. I came here in good faith, and now it seems you help the Empire at every turn. As for you, General Tullius, I see now that Galmar was right. Talking to the Empire is just as useless as ever. If you think you can hold Markarth, you're as deluded as your Emperor when he signed away our freedom to the Thalmor. Skyrim will never again bow to your false empire. Let's go, Galmar. I should have listened to you in the first place.
You always were a fool, Ulfric. You're no better at diplomacy than you are on the battlefield.
Stop! Are you so blind to our danger that you can't see past your petty disagreements? Here you sit arguing about nothing, while the fate of the land hangs in the balance.
Is he with you, Delphine? If so, I advise you to tell him to watch his tongue.
He is with me, and I advise you both to listen to what he has to say before you do anything rash.
Don't you understand the danger? Don't you understand what the return of the dragons means? Aldrin has returned, the World Eater. Even now he devours the souls of your fallen comrades. He grows more powerful with every soldier slain in your pointless war. Can you not put aside your hatred for even one moment in the face of this mortal danger?
A very pretty speech. But what does it
Shut
have to
up.
do with the...
If he's right about Aldrin, we both have just as much to lose here, Tullius. Remember that. Now, back to the matter at hand. Don't hand me a mug of sheep's piss and call it mead. These terms are still not acceptable.
I'm sure you have something in mind.
Damn right we do.
We want compensation for the massacre at Anga's mill.
You slaughtered them. The women, the children. You butchers!
That's a lie. My legionnaires are disciplined,
You don't really
unlike
expect compensation every time a farm gets burned in a war that you started, do you, Ulfric?
What say you, Dragonborn? I don't know why I expected even-handed treatment from you. And so the Empire runs roughshod over Skyrim. As usual. These terms are not acceptable. You know that.
I'm listening.
You surrender Falkreath to us. Sidgeir steps down, and Dengir of Stun resumes the Jarlship.
Where do these demands stop, Ulfric? Do you expect me to surrender all of Skyrim?
It seems I have no choice but to let the Dragonborn decide. Although I'm starting to doubt your fairness. What say you, Dragonborn? Even the Dragonborn betray Skyrim. Come on, Tully. You have to give a little ground here. The dragons are a threat to us both.
Let's hear it.
Bah, this is a waste of time. I can see that we won't get better terms. This council. So be it. The Sons of Skyrim at least put the greater good above our own. Interest.
It seems we may have an agreement. Jarl Ulfric, General Tullius, these are the terms currently on the table. Markarth will be handed over to Ulfric's forces, Jarl Igmund will step down, and Thangvor Silverblood will become the Jarl of Markarth. The Stormcloaks will withdraw from the Rift, allowing Imperial troops unhindered access. Jarl Leila Lawgiver will step down, and Maven Blackbriar will become the Jarl of Riften. You both agree to this?
I shouldn't agree to terms that so blatantly favor the Empire. I have no choice, though, under the circumstances. But once Aldwin is defeated, then it will be the Empire's turn. Remember Evgir Unslag. You should be pleased, Elisif. You've done well for yourself as the Empire's pet Jarl. But beware, the Empire's loyalty is fickle. They will tire of this war, and then I will be the one dictating terms to you.
I have nothing to say to that murderer. General, you've proven yourself a good friend to Skyrim. I continue to trust that you will do your utmost to safeguard our interests.
Thank you, Jarl Elisif. I appreciate your loyalty. The Empire can live with these terms, yes, for a temporary truce, until the dragon menace is dealt with. After that, Ulfric, there will be a reckoning. Count on it.
Come on, Galmar. We have a lot of work to do.
Giving up Markarth is a heavy price for this truce, Dragonborn. I hope it was worth it.
Jarl Balgruf, I assume you are familiar with the Dragonborn's plan?
Yes, I'm ready to do my part. Just say the word, and my men will help you spring this trap.
But the difficulty remains how to lure a dragon to Dragon's Reach at all.
Well, that's an excellent question.
I don't much
You
like
haven't
this
overlooked
truce.
that little
Feels like a
detail, have
betrayal
you?
to me.
Ah. Believe I can be of help here. I anticipated the problem while you were arranging, and I'm cross-referencing this with Delphine's map of dragon burial sites. I believe I've identified one. Don't you see? By calling the dragon with the voice, he's not compelled. I think it's very likely that he will be unable. Ode Ving, winged snow hunter, as I read it.
There's one more thing. We know about Parthenax. Parthenax. He needs to die until he's dead. Well, I'm sorry, but we would dishonor our oaths as blades if we continue to help you.
There's something I can do for you? Perhaps direct you to the nearest prison? Hadvar's alive. I hope that's true. He's a damn good soldier. But he hasn't reported in yet, so he can't exactly confirm your story. In the meantime, why don't you have a chat with Legate Ricca? I suspect we might have use for someone resourceful like you.
I fear this truce will not last. You gave the Empire too much. Ulfric will not let that stand for long. Now you see why I've warned you against them bloodthirsty barbarians. Yes, but understand, during the days of Alduin's rule, all dragons were his allies. If not for Paarthurnax, Alduin could not have been overthrown. It was he that first taught men to use the Thu'um. Kynareth has placed the voice of wisdom within you, Dragonborn. All you need do is learn to listen to it, and your path will be clear. Yes, but understand, during the days of Alduin's rule, all dragons were his allies. There was nothing else they could be. If not for Paarthurnax, Alduin could not have been overthrown. It was he that first taught men to use the Thu'um. Sky, guard you.
Dremyolok, greetings. Odahviing will come to your challenge. Bozik, the blades are wise not to trust me. Onikan Niov, I would not trust. Dov Walan Farel, I can be trusted. I know this. I have overcome my nature only through meditation. No day goes by where I am not tempted to return to my inborn nature. What is better, to be born good or to overcome your evil nature through great effort? Sum Ark Mora.